Hello, everyone. Prop Sales coming at you with your daily update. So let's take a moment to make sure that our sound is good. As people filter in, we'll see how the sound sounds. Let me go over here and make sure that my video is up and running right. How's everybody doing out there today? Good, I hope. And let me pause this. All right, the chat room looks like it's coming up. Hey, Mark, how are you? How's my sound there, sir? Sound check, sound check, sound check. Blue ice snowball microphone plugged in. I don't know why they call it blue because it's not blue, it's white. Mark says it's choppy. All right, let's try without that. Give me 1 second, everybody. Sound. I hear no sound. How can you hear no sound? How can you hear no sound? There has to be sound. One of these days, I'm going to have a better computer. I hear no sound. How can you hear no sound? There it is. How can you hear no sound? There has to be sound. What in the world? All right, let's try this. I'm going to try one more thing. All right, let me know if that sounds any better, guys. I did what I did yesterday to try to fix it. We'll see. Let's see if that's any better. Better. Let me know if that sounds any better, guys. I did what I did yesterday to try to fix it. Trying to catch the delay, see if I can hear it. Let's see if that's any better. A little scratchy. All right, let me try one more thing. I think it's because I'm saving something that's just taking up all my bandwidth. Could be. One more time on the blue mic. All right, let me know how that is. If that's any better. I'm back on my blue snowball ice. There's no way for me to really tell sometimes, guys, unfortunately. You need Yeah, you need more RAM and a faster processor. Yeah, need something. You hear that, Karin? I need a Mac Air. Got a birthday. Okay. All right, so I'm going to mute that. And actually, I'm going to pause it too. Hope that'll help. But sounds and visual do not match up. Yeah, well, we're going to have to just deal with that. We'll just have to see. All right, guys. So anyway, I'll give you a quick heads up. Yeah, so today's been a pretty good day. Been getting some stuff done. Had a couple jean sales yesterday. Not a great amount, but I did go in and relist a bunch of jeans today. And by relist, I actually didn't relist them. I just changed some pricing on probably about 40 or so. And I've already popped 3 sales off of that since then. I don't know if they're all from that, but who knows. So, you know, repricing, getting them back. You know, a lot of jeans I was listing those good to canceleds. And the more I think about it, the less I think that's effective in some ways. I think there's some indexing issues and so on that happen with eBay. Not really sure, but ultimately, I think maybe 30 days buy nows are the way to go in general, but there's just no way to know 100%. So I'll share with you my results here in just a moment. Let's see. Yeah, this silly saving Karin's video right now, which we finished up editing really last night and today. I'm actually saving it in a YouTube format, and then I'm going to upload it this afternoon as soon as it gets done. We're really happy with it. We like it. It's kind of got a little bit of everything in it, so it's a little tricky to figure out what to call it. But I think you guys will get something out of it. I think there's a lot of good info in there. There's obviously the day that we had sourcing last week when we pulled 137 jeans out of the day, which was great. But just basically, you know, how to go in and find jeans, what to look for, a lot of tips, kind of what our day was like, what we experienced in each store. You know, Mike says, I can't wait for her to school you on buying jeans. Oh, she already does, Mike. That's not even, you know, I've given up that fight long ago. There's just no winning. You know, even if you win, you lose. So it's just, when you lose, you lose. Either way, you lose. So you might as well just accept it and move on. But, you know, she's doing awesome. She went from not knowing anything about this business to really becoming very proficient, being able to find jeans and photograph jeans and so on. And, you know, I don't know what I'd do without her. That's for sure. It makes all the difference in the world having a second person, guys. No doubt about it. And she's a really good one to have. So I'm very, very lucky. And I know she's listening and watching, so, you know, that's why I'm saying, no, I'm just kidding. It's really true. She's amazing. And I hope you guys will like her video. Definitely will be a different feel than mine. Some similarities, but ultimately she's got her own style, her own way of doing things and explaining things, and I think you guys will like it. Excuse me 1 second. You see that the title of this is Sales Tax Hell. So as many of you know, I just recently incorporated, and I've went in and started setting all my sales tax info to collect sales tax for my new corporation. I went on to TaxJar today, which is a pretty cool little site that allows you to collect what you need from each state. It allows you to integrate with Amazon and eBay. And it even allows you to automate filings and payments, which is pretty cool, all at a pretty reasonable price. But what I discovered right off the bat is now I'm going to have to file for sales taxes to collect sales tax in any state in which I have a nexus. A nexus, for those of you who do not know, and I'm not an expert on this, so some of you may have a better explanation, Just basically means that you're warehousing or have a physical presence in a state. You have a nexus. So effectively, if you're doing Amazon FBA and Amazon has a fulfillment center in another state and you have items that have been stored there and sold from there, you have a nexus there, which means you have to collect sales tax from there. And as any of you know, sales tax is a big pain in the butt. It's a pain in the butt to register for. It's expensive. It's a pain in the butt to collect, and then you've got to remit it. And states do not exactly make it very easy. It's just a revenue grab on the part of the states. You know, they're looking for every dollar they can get. So they've now said that Amazon and eBay, you know, not only do you have to collect sales tax in your home state if you're selling from your house, but if you're sending items in for Amazon, you have to collect in any state where there's a nexus for Amazon, which is a lot of states. So I've just got started in that. It's going to be annoying to say at the least, and just down outright frustrating at the worst, but I got to do it. And it's the cost of doing business. Luckily, there are apps and services like TaxJar that make it easier. I can't wait to kind of get in there and get it set up. But honestly, once I get it set up and it's doing its thing, I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's like one more thing on my plate I don't need. So I'm looking forward to getting it set up in each of these states. I'm going to have to go through the process probably in at least 10 or 12 different states, it looks like, and it costs money to register. And man, it's a pain. But, you know, it's a cost of doing business, I guess, these days, and I suppose it's worth it on some level. I don't know. It doesn't seem very worth it, honestly, but, you know, I got to do it. So that's why the title of this vlog is Sales Tax Hell. If it was only my own state, I'm already set up there. It's no big deal. But, you know, having to do it in other states, and you have to deal with localities and their taxes and so on. Like this locality adds on a tax and this one doesn't. Just a nightmare of administrivia. So anyway, I'm dealing with that. I'm getting through it, but it's just kind of annoying. All right, so let me try to share with you guys the results from yesterday. Let me pull that up. Yep, there it is. So I will do a screen share. Excuse me, congested. And there it is. All right, so actually, hang on. Let me stop sharing for a second and reshare that, because sometimes I know when I scroll down, it doesn't work. So let me try that again. All right, so you can see yesterday was 8.3, or today is 8.3, excuse me. Yesterday was 8.2. So 2 pairs sold, 52.50, pretty good money per pair. Was at $26.25 a pair, which is good. I think one was like $28 and one was a little less, but you know, definitely got to get some more volume out of it. Net per jean was good at $11.56. That's awesome, which that helps. Just you know, got to get my listings up higher. Obviously, I've burned out all the ones that we've taken photos of, so it's now time to get more photos in place. I did list 5 yesterday, so I did gain 3, and I've sold 3 today, which is nice for $70. So today is already a little better. Hopefully, I'll get a few more tonight as people get off work and start shopping. You know, I really want to start getting up in those, you know, those days where I'm selling 6 and 7 pretty soon, and then 8 and 10, and you know, that's what progress is going to look like. But I know it's still just getting through this hot weather. People are not thinking about jeans when it's 90 degrees outside. And, you know, people are just now finishing up some vacations, so that will hopefully help a little bit as well. You know, the estimated net or the estimated net per jean is, you know, $833, which is okay. It's not great, but I'll deal with it. I'm definitely looking at, you know, I went through today and priced a bunch of jeans that I've had listed for at least 30 or maybe even 60 days plus. I'm going ahead and listing those lower, and of course doing the doing flat rate shipping with them, $650. So I'm going to try to get rid of some of those, get some income in, which will allow me some capital to buy more. But I know it's a process, and I know it's a long haul. I'm in it for the long haul, so I'm not going to get too, excited about any day's results, as I've mentioned before. And I know that, I've still got to get through these next few weeks. My big thing is just to always have items ready to list. And today I do not. So that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. I'm going to prepare some for listing, at least 5 to 10, and get those up. Just keep building those listing totals. But progress, right? Progress is process. And, I like my processes overall. I just got to refine a few things in terms of my listings, so on, and make sure that I'm listing every day, listing more than I'm selling, hopefully by at least a factor of 2. That way I'm at least, gaining 100% each day. And, we'll see. All right. So that was that. And let's go back over the chat. Have you thought about going? Mike says, have you thought about going after shorts during the summer? I've had some good success with both genders, especially booty shorts for women. Yeah, I have sold some shorts, Mike. Just the supply around here, there's a lot of supply, but it's just kind of the lower end ones that I've been finding, and I haven't focused on it that much. Bread and butter jeans, I find, don't command $8 profit. True. Agreed. Just sold a jean for men called Buckler, $80, paid $4.99 at Goodwill. Yeah, was that Buckle? Maybe Spark of Interest, BKE, as he said. Some Goodwills do not know what they have, which is great for us. Yeah, and that's true, Spark of Interest. But the real thing is, Goodwills don't have the time to go in and research jeans properly, or really most of their clothing. They take some wild leaps sometimes, and they just will throw a jean up there and say, hey, pay us $10 for this or $20 for it. They know about True Religion, most of the ones around here, but that's about it. I mean, they don't really don't go after the high-end brands, and they don't really price them too well. So, that's the great thing about clothing. They got so much of it. There's just no way they can really research them properly, which, like you said, is good for us. Of course it is. Hey guys, if you're liking the video, please make sure you hit the like video down below, or the like button down below. A lot of people are watching, so I know there's some good likes we got in here, and I do appreciate it, and so does YouTube. Let's see. Oh, something just sold. Oh. It's weird. Like my eBay notifications today are kind of coming through late. I'm not really sure why. But something just sold 1 minute ago. And usually it comes through pretty quickly. Usually I get the notification the same time I get the email. But for whatever reason, it's kind of a little delayed today. I don't know why. This is looks like maybe my repricing is starting to work a little. Let's see if that was yeah, it says today at 3:09. So it sounds like my my repricing I did today is starting to work. With looks like maybe 4 pairs sold today already, which is nice. So hey, consider that. Be sure you go in and reprice your items, and think about moving out old items, and pricing them down a little bit so you can get rid of them, make room for new inventory, get some more get your capital back. Got 12 pair of jeans on the Love Rack. They had Calvin Klein for $8.99. Nice. Calvin Klein. Mike says, yeah, those are so sure worth $9. Yeah, I know, right? It's like, there's really just no rhyme or reason to how Goodwill does it. I don't understand it at all, what their logic is. Let's see what just sold. Oh, that's a nice sale. Just came in. Some silver tabs for $30 I just sold. Eventually it's going to ding, but who knows? Love silver tab, right? Good stuff. I find you can sell a lot of silver tab for $30. I think these were 30 with free shipping though, maybe. I can't remember. Let's see. Yeah, they were 30 with free shipping, but that's okay. That's still good. Take that. You know, silver tabs are just great ones to find. I mean, they sell. I don't have any problem selling silver tab. It pretty much sells all the time without, usually not too long, within a month or so. Late saved. Yeah, Karin's video is taking forever to save, and she says that's because it's really good, which it is. But I don't know why it's just taking so long to convert to a YouTube format. Maybe it's, I think there's some things we did that maybe are causing it, but not really sure. I got a pair of Carhartt women's flannel lined at the weigh and pay with the original Goodwill tag at $24.99. Yeah, Carhartt flannel line will be a nice sale, Mike. I would think you may not sell them for a little while unless you price them really low. I've sold flannel line before, and they tend to go for good money. I grabbed 2 pair of LL Bean flannel line jeans. Yeah, I'd probably get. Yeah, I mean flannel line's cool. It's definitely more of a wintry or fallish type item, but you know, you definitely can get a decent price for them. I think the ones I sold last year I got like maybe $30 for, and they were there's that sound. Man, that took a while to come through. The email came like 4 minutes ago. Yeah, so flannel line in general, I think the ones I sold last fall, a couple of them, they might have been Levi. I don't know. Maybe they were Wrangler. I don't remember who they were, but got in my notes somewhere. Yeah, flannel line jeans, definitely good to pick up in lots of different brands. You know, you definitely can make some good money with those. Cha-ching. Exactly. What a great sound. That was genius marketing on eBay's part, wasn't it? To put that in their app. Let me pause this. All right, so what else do I got on the list here? Nothing really. Been listening to some good podcasts, guys. You know, I like to listen at least one a day or watch a video or at least have it on the background. And I like to listen to ones not really that are talking about hauls and what to buy and so on, but more about, you know, mindset or different ways of diversifying your income. And my website is in development. You know, it's going to take a little while to get it how I want to get it, but it's definitely around the corner. And I hope you guys will like it once it comes online. I'm definitely going to do some more. I'm definitely going to do some blogging on it, which will be cool because I like writing sometimes. You know, I think it has a different feel than video and makes a different impact. So hopefully you guys will like that. And I also want to do a podcast with it as well. Those are both in the works because I'm learning all about how to create good audio, which is tricky when you do these videos. But there's a cool tool called Audacity that allows you to go in and mix your audio files and so on and do all kinds of cool stuff with them. So I just started playing around with that a little bit today, and it's pretty cool. I've sold Faded Glory flannel line for around $30 before, new with tags, but still, yeah, isn't that crazy? Faded Glory. I got my Amazon FBA shipment sent out today. That should be about, it was a pretty small shipment, but it should be about $200 to $250 in profit, somewhere in that range, given what Inventory Lab said. So that'll be good. Just kind of keep that pipeline going. You know, I've kind of let Amazon not flounder, but it hasn't been a big focus for me the last couple of weeks since I've been focusing a little bit more on jeans. And one of the tricky things I'm trying to juggle right now is, you know, kind of getting pulled in a lot of different directions at once. And it's tough to sometimes kind of narrow down your focus onto just what's important. But, you know, it's a process to kind of learn that and get there. And I'm working through it. And I don't think it'll be, you know, I'm kind of sifting through what's important and what's not, and discarding what's not important, getting that out of the way. It's tough when you want to do like 10 different things every day and you've only got time and energy for maybe 4. So that's where I'm at right now, is just trying to figure out what those 4 things will be, or whatever the number is. It's probably more than 4, but you know what I'm saying. Let me see if I can pull up those graphs a little bit here, or people like to call them, which I think is funny. Yeah, we'll look at this one real quick. Here's a little screen share for a moment. Let's see if I can get this up. There it is. Yeah, so here's my graph of sold. You can see over here, and it's sort of all over the place. A high of 7, a low of 0 in these first, what was it, 16 days we're at now. So again, you know, can't tell too much from that. Looks like it's leveling out around the slope of this line would be probably somewhere in here, right around 3.5 to 4. Listed, you know, a lot of good days last week, but not as many as the totals fell off from what I had left to list. So I think the moral of the story here is always keep enough items ready in your pipeline to be listing. Doesn't do you any good to buy things if you don't get them listed. And you know, I got a lot of items. I got a lot of items bought recently, but I don't have a lot listed in the last, you see here, the last 3 or 4 days. This was when I was sourcing these 2 days here. And then even the last 3 days, I've only listed 14 items. That's not nearly enough. So I've got to get that up higher. And so I'm going to take some steps to make sure that that's going to happen. The sell-through is a little tough to see, I think, because I don't think this thing will scroll down for us. So I'm not going to go there with that. So what is everybody else selling right now? Have you guys seen pretty good sales over the last few days? You know, what are you focusing on? And why would probably be the better question, right? Why are you focusing on item X or item Y? Excuse me. Also wanted to say too that I'm looking for the next person for my interview series on Monday night. So I'm in talks with people for that, just so you guys know. I'll let you know what that looks like. You know, I may even have Karin on. We talked about doing a dual show. Now that her video will be up and running, I'll give you guys some things to ask her. You know, and that's what we might do, just depending on how it goes with guests and so on. And but I've got several people on my list, and I've got some people who have said yes. It's just a matter of getting them, you know, here on the show when they're available. Let's see. Mark says his sales are good. Now he's doing a lot of jeans. Okay. Cheryl Ann says RC car stuff because it's summer. Makes sense. Mike says 110 packages the last 3 days. I'm focusing on listing as much as possible. That's all. Trying to source more new with tags. Jeans out of department stores instead of weigh and pay. Yeah, new jeans are great. I guess you could probably, Mike, I would guess you could list against the barcode. You could probably say if you can do that or not. You could list against the barcode on eBay, and you could use a stock photo if it's a new pair of jeans. Or I don't know if you do a different process or what, but I mean, that might be one way to do it, to speed up the listing process when you don't have to take several photos and edit them. I know you can do that with things like DVDs and so on eBay. I'm not sure if you can about jeans per se, but if there's a stock photo, I would assume you can. It gives you that option, so I don't see why not. You just put in a different size. Yeah, Mark says Burlington has new with tags. Yeah, I got to get back to Burlington, Mark. Mine, I went to it last week and didn't really find much, but there's definitely some possibility there. Prices are all over the place. Yeah, prices, yeah, they are. Pricing. I should definitely do a video, I think, about pricing. You know, it's tough because right now I'm doing all these vlogs, you know, and they take up a lot of time each day, and I like doing them. You guys make them really enjoyable, but it kind of shrinks down the amount of time I can do for other videos and so on. Mike says, never tried that. Just take my own picks, but I get multiple quantities the same size, so it's easy. Right, that makes sense. I go from 20 to 30, usually on Levi's, men's, new with tags, plus shipping. That makes sense. Just a matter of finding them, getting them for a cheap enough price. It's not, you know, I gotta, you know, that's a good point. You know, you really have to kind of keep looking for new places to source, because, you know, you can have a favorite store you go to, and you can go to it 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times in a row and just find almost nothing. And, you know, that happens. It's not that uncommon. So you always going to be looking for new sources. Ronnie says more listing. Less chatting, Mr. Ronnie Hart. Less talking to people in chat rooms. Just kidding, man. Ronnie's giving me grief. $569 has the lowest resale value. Yeah, it might be. Mike has said he and I are eventually going to do a show together, but I think he's just teasing. What size of bag is the best for shipping jeans? Ken, we use a lot of padded flat rates. A lot of the jean sellers that are on this channel and so on, the padded flat rate mailers from USPS, you can get way up, like up to really large sizes in that if you fold them right. So, and your shipping cost is going to be around $5.90. You could do just the flat rate mailer too, the envelope. I like the padded. I just find it stretches around jeans a little better, but the regular will work as well. Yeah, Mike and Mark are having a jean conversation, which is cool. Yeah, and I wanted to clear up something too, guys, that's kind of come up, and I just wanted to so you guys would know this. You know, this jean challenge is something that I'm doing for lots of different reasons. And, you know, everybody in the reselling community, well, I'm going to back up from that. I'm not going to say everybody, but lots of people in the reselling community think that they know the best way to run a reselling business. And I can appreciate that. You know, you've got people out there who have tremendous amounts of success and experience and years of doing it. And there's value in listening to them and their advice. No doubt about it. However, I think what I would say is that there is no right way to run your business. And what I mean by that is you're all going to come up with slightly different ways of doing things. I know I do, and for different reasons. I like the jean challenge for reasons I've expanded on before. And, you know, it appeals to a certain part of my brain, honestly. But, you know, there's other reasons to do it. And, you know, could you say that jeans are the most profitable item out there? No, of course they're not. Are they going to generate the most dollars? It's not, but it's not about that. I mean, the reality is that, you know, you've got to find what works for your business and do it your way. And that may not work for you at first, and you may have to tinker with it or completely revamp it. But there's not really a right and wrong way to run your business. Now, there might be some better ways to think about it and how to mentally process things. That's true. But, you know, nobody has a monopoly on the best way to do everything or the best products to sell, and the best it just doesn't exist. You know, there's lots of different ways to run profitable businesses, and we all have different goals. We have some people, you know, we had Tanya on the show a few weeks ago, and she is a part-time seller. She doesn't need to sell $10,000 or $20,000 a month or $50,000 a month worth of inventory. So to say, well, you need to go buy these things and then you could ramp up your, that doesn't appeal to her. That's not what she's doing. Just like with me, you know, Ronnie's here in the chat. Ronnie likes to sell some higher end clothing brands, which bring a better dollar amount, which I can appreciate. And I've had some experience with, but I like the simplicity of jeans over Ronnie has tremendous brand knowledge that I don't have. And it would be a learning curve to get it. Of course I could get it and do it, but it just doesn't appeal to me the same way as what I'm doing with this gene challenge does. You know, this appeals to a certain part of my brain. And I think there's a way to do it in a way that it can be very profitable if you can get volume going. And I think there's ways to speed up and be more efficient. And if I want to do it that way, it doesn't, you know, I think that's fine. You know, I just don't want to get too caught up in there's a right or wrong way. Ronnie says he will sell whatever makes me money. Yeah, right. But I think even you would admit, Ronnie, that, you know, there'd be some items you wouldn't sell because it's not worth it to you or it doesn't appeal to you, or, you know, like you could sell items and you could buy items for $1 and make $1 on them. But to really make any money at that, you'd have to turn a lot of volume, right? And you're paying for your bills with this business. It'd be kind of tricky if you did that. You'd be like, well, I got to get my hands on a lot of them. If I'm only going to make $1 on each item I sell, I got to sell a lot of items. So that would change what you sold. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, so I just want to say that, you know, just find your own path with this. If you don't have passion for it, you're not going to be good at it. So, you know, find your passion in this business, whatever it is. I mean, making money is, I don't know that that's really a passion necessarily per se. I mean, yeah, it is. It's cool. But how you do it is what's important, and how much for the amount of time you put in. You know, we've talked about time a million times, and it's true. So if it's not worth the time you put in, however you figure that time worth calculation, then don't do it. But, you know, I just wanted to say that and say that, you know, this challenge is something that's really cool in my mind. And I like figuring out the complexities of it and the logistics of it, as well as, you know, just how it's going to turn out, because I don't know. And I like that. You know, I mean, there's probably people who've done it online. You know, Mike's in here and he sells a lot of jeans, but to go through and to have this many listings that I'm talking about, I don't know. There's not a lot of people doing that who aren't big wholesalers. So I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm curious to find out and see what it turns out like. So anyway, that's the end of my story. Little Horse on the Prairie says, can big companies with behind closed doors connections with manufacturers kill your market? Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about there, Little Horse. Maybe on new items. I don't know, but I don't think you would. I don't think with used jeans I'd have to worry about a company doing that. I mean, if they're doing that, they're already there. It's not like they're suddenly going to pop up because I'm around. It's not like I'm inventing anything here that people don't already know about. Ronnie says he pays $7 on average per item that he sells, but my return is 50 to 60 plus shipping. So his profit is 5x plus. All depends what's around to source in your area. Yeah, Ronnie, if you ever come down this way, man, let's go sourcing together. I think that'd be a lot of fun. We'll shoot a video or two, and it'd be cool to see your take on, you know, a different area. I don't know if you ever come this far south. I know how you New Englanders are. Just kidding. But if you ever do come down this way, that'd be cool. And, you know, it'd be cool to see how somebody else goes through and does it. I think that's always interesting, and, you know, pick their brain a little bit and what their mindset is. You know, I don't know if we have better or worse brands down here, but, you know, it'd be cool to find out. We are Yankees. Yeah, you know, it is. Sorry, you're Yankees. No, I'm just kidding. It's always that North and South thing, man. It's so ridiculous. But I don't care. I like everybody. Little Horse says, if they start selling them new at your used price, taking away customers. I don't know who would really do that, Little House. I mean, I don't know how you could sell new Levi's at $15 plus $6.50 shipping, for instance. Like, where would you get them from to do that? I don't know. We don't go to rebel country. Oh, good Lord. Us from the Northeast don't cross the Mason-Dixon line. All right, fair enough. There's a reason why people, though, move from the north to the south. It doesn't work that way in reverse. Just think about that. Oh man, I'm going to start a whole north and south thing here. Here we go. Yeah, I don't think, to talk to Little Horse's point, I don't think we'd have to worry about that. Companies selling new items, Ronnie says, from what I've seen, the sourcing is better up north. Orlando and Daytona Beach were the worst for me. Yeah, and that's interesting, Ronnie, because in Daytona Beach, there's a lot of people who retire there from the north. I mean, it's quite a retirement community. But I think by the time they get to that point, I mean, if you've ever been to Daytona Beach, guys, in the summer, it's interesting. I mean, you'll see 65-year-old dudes walking around with no shirt on, pair of shorts and flip-flops, big beer belly sticking out, smoking a cigarette. I mean, it's a whole nother world. It's a cool place. The weather's great. You can drive around the beach, which is just insane. But, you wouldn't think somewhere like that's maybe going to generate a lot of high-end brands like Ronnie likes to sell. Maybe, but probably not. I was browsing eBay and I'm seeing new Levi's for $25, free shipping, new True Religion. Yeah, and that can be Little Horse that people get them from closeouts and so on. But for someone to come in who is a wholesaler or someone who's a big distributor and would come in and try to sell like thousands and thousands of those, I don't know where they'd get their source from. You can find them new in thrift stores with tags attached. That happens. Or you can find them new on the clearance rack occasionally at places like Nordstrom Rack. But to find them in bulk, I kind of doubt it. Muhammad says, this is Huda. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, I'm a new seller on eBay trying to learn what to sell and how to sell. Well, Muhammad, I would say start with something you know. Start with things around your house. It's always a tried and true method. You know the history of those products, you know what's good about them, you know how much you paid for them, if there's any issues with them. That'll get your feet wet. And then after that, branch out into things that you think you might be interested in. You're going to have to do a little bit of throwing darts at a dartboard until you figure it out. And then you can sort of narrow your focus down a bit if you want. Some people always do that sort of scattershot approach and, just sell whatever they find, which, there's nothing wrong with that either. Let's see. I don't know what that means. Krillin, are they new, used, need more details? You can get new with tag Levi's, retail, arbitrage. Exactly. But again, it's just a matter of getting, I mean, could I fill 5,000 listings with new jeans with tags just from going around to retail stores? I don't know. I don't think so. I just don't think I could get them cheap enough to really... a $75 pair of Levi's brand new in a department store is going to sell for maybe $25 on eBay. But even when you find it at a retail store marked down, it's not, it's got to be marked down to like $5 to $10 to really make any money on it. So you're not going to find that many of them, has been my experience. But you can find some, sure. But to get quantity, it's a little tougher. But what would you do? There's like 3 different side conversations going on here, so I'm not sure who's talking to who. But they look kind of interesting. Lots of shop talk here about jeans. It's becoming like a jeans hangout, right? I didn't intend that to happen, but it's just sort of evolved into that. Oh, one other thing too, if you have any experience, I'm probably looking at Fiverr to do my web design. Is kind of my idea. But if you guys have any experience with anybody else, please leave in the comments or in the chat, would be fine too. But just if you've had experience with anyone, obviously I'm looking for someone to do it cheap. They don't have to be here local. because they don't have to, I could just send them what I need. But if you have an experience with getting a website developed, I'm not talking about a super complex website, but obviously it's going to need a little bit of functionality. Let me know. Also, guys, please don't forget, please hit the like button if you haven't already, so that YouTube will know that I'm doing a good job with this video and that you like and you're getting something out of it. We got about 7 likes and about 27 people watching. So what are you doing? No, I'm just teasing, but I do appreciate it if you will. Lynn says, are you going to sell on the site? No, that's not my intention at this point, Lynn. I'm not going to sit here and say I would never do it, but not anytime soon. That's not going to be the focus of it at all. If I was going to do that, I'd create a different site. So this particular site is not going to be about selling product. Look at Ronnie dropping the knowledge. Ronnie's an awesome dude for just like knowing all this crap, guys. He gives it to you no nonsense too, and he's just like, nah, it's this. And you're like, okay. You don't really have to even question it. I mean, if he says it, it's true. And if he doesn't know it, he'll tell you he doesn't know it. Well, he might make it up. Who knows with Ronnie Hart? Nah, I'm just kidding. He won't make it up. He'll just tell you he doesn't know. Hold on one second. Oh, okay. Krillin's talking about his dress shirts and so on, but should I unpack them to measure the chest? Yeah. Yeah, Little Horse, anything can be sold on eBay or Amazon as long as it doesn't break their rules or terms of service and so on. But the reality is, if you're going to sell in volume, you've got to be able to get your hands on enough volume to fill, the demand. And of course, it's got to be at a price that makes sense. If you price it so low that you're just not making much profit on it, that increases the amount of volume you've got to turn. And, as you get more volume of anything, it increases your overhead a bit, because usually you have to come up with different processes to deal with it. You may have to hire people. You've got to outsource things. You've got more overhead in terms of your shipping cost and your packing cost, your indirect office expense. It's just all kinds of things like that. So, you can sell anything, but is it going to be for enough to make it worth it? That's a calculation that you've got to really go in and see if it makes sense for you. And often it doesn't. If you're buying things, perfect example. Think about it. You could buy something for $15 and sell it for $25. But you're going to have to really turn some volume to create, any sort of profit. You're going to make a profit on that, but after fees and so on, you're not going to make a tremendous profit. So you're going to have to turn some volume if you want to make $5,000 a month, then you're going to have to turn some profit or turn some volume to get that. It's all about a cost benefit analysis. Is it worth it to you? And, I can't give you that. I can just tell you what to think about, maybe, and what I think about, and you can take that for whatever it's worth. So anyway. All right, guys. Well, look, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the vlog here in a moment. So I do appreciate you guys coming on. I'm going to try to get Karin's video uploaded here in a moment. It looks like it just finished saving. Thank the Lord, because it was that literally took over an hour to save. Lynn says, what is the average price of the jeans you're able to source? It's basically $4.99, Lynn. A little lower than that, but that's basically what I can find them for with no problem, and sometimes cheaper. Would it be better to sell brand name clothing auction style or buy it now? Baloo, that's a great question, and it comes up all the time. I don't think anyone has enough data to be able to definitively say that, because again, it goes back to what are your goals with selling it. Don't forget, with auctions, I believe your buyer can wait to pay you, so that you do run into a few logistical issues there. Most people are going to pay and pay pretty timely, but sometimes people don't, and then your item is not listed that amount of time. So you always have days unlisted for a certain percentage of your items each year, so that hurts your sales a little bit with auctions. I like to buy it now a little better, but anyway. All right, so if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment down below. I do appreciate it. And consider subscribing if you will, and you can always get these videos. I will be back probably tomorrow with another update, and Karin's video I'll be trying to upload that here in the next 30 minutes or so. I do appreciate you guys coming out. We had about 30 people at one point, and I really do appreciate, you know, everything you guys do. And you know, I love these vlogs and so on. There's all kinds of good info in them about jeans and everything else, and I do appreciate that, you guys coming out. And you know, I'm going to see you soon. All right, so until next time, guys, this is Prof Sales, and as always, I'm going to say good sales to you.